3.py. Here it is 3.py. So there I'm trying to take up. So look at that. Now I'll take it. Value is equal to taken in the form of string. Enter any value or word. Any value or word. So you just try to enter any word. I mean, so there I will take it. Already you know the condition, students. What the palindrome value related logic value of colon -1. This is known as extended slicing, we can call extended slicing. So there I'll try to take it. Here I'm trying to write it. Is palindrome. Is palindrome. So I say dot format of value. Dot format of value. There I will write it. I need to write it one more. If one more thing I need to take it. Value not equal to. Value not equal to. Value not equal to. This is the point to take care. Value not equal to this value. Come in. So I'll say here not a palindrome. Not palindrome. Is not palindrome. Okay. Done. So finally, I can say run this code. Print of what? Program execution completed. So this is not necessary to write it. Just I'm writing as a statement X. So here you need to try to run this. Need to run this code. Now output is right side of the code. Project Explorer. You already know that. Code editor and output editor. So here it is asking the value called what? Enter any value. The flow is important. We need to enter the value here. I'll enter Python here, which is of string type only taken, and we are deciding that Python coming to statement number 3. So statement number 3 value is equal to reverse of that value. Definitely it is false. Coming to line number 5, value Python not equal to reverse of Python, which is going to be true, and it is printing Python is not palindrome. Python is not palindrome. You will get it. Program execution completes. So this is what we learned it. And I try to learn one more here. Say something like literal. So it is going to be like literal is called palindrome because reversed is equal to versional word. You try to run once again. 121 you say. Reverse also called 121. You try to enter 1221. 1221 is also called a palindrome. So go to the place. I'll enter 4567 and you'll be getting not a palindrome. This is related to the concept of what? Related to the concept of simple if statement. Simple if statement. And there is one more homework also given. Might be you did or not, I don't know. Vowels are not a vowel word. Right? Write a Python program. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will accept a word. Which will accept a word and decide and decide and decide whether it is a vowel word or not. Decide whether it is a vowel word or not. Decide whether it is a vowel word or not. So try to look into this area. Go to the place. Here I am going to write it. A new file name. Here I am writing. So of course, simply if statement example 4.py. 4.py I am taking 4.py. So there I am going to take up. So value is equal to input of enter input of enter any word enter any word enter any word. So if that word is going to be any value like this, Python I am taking Python. In this Python, what is happening? The letter P, I should check with what? AEIOU. The letter Y, all these things I have to check with any one of the AEIOU. So if any letter of the given word is present in this AEIOU, we can say it is called what? Palindrome. Otherwise, we can say it is not a palindrome. For that, you need to write it. If statement, I need to write it. So I need to take all the vowels. So decided to take A. Small letter I decided to take A in value. Membership operator. I already explained for you. A in value. This is a membership operator I already explained for you. Next I will take it. Here I am writing and or I need to write or because that members either of the letters are present in this. I'm taking here E in value. Next I'm taking here AEIOU. I in value or we are writing O in value. AEIOU. So I will write O here. I will write or I'll write something like AEIOU. So you I write it. So anyone is satisfied with that. Anyone is satisfied with that. I need to write R here. If the word is Python, A in Python is false. Next, E in Python is also false. E in Python is also false. O in Python is called true. So false, false, true is called true only. So it will not go to the next place. So I say here, print of each is vowel word. Vowel word I am going to say. So dot format of I will say here what you know. Same something like this. So another logic is what? Another logic I will write it. Another logic I will write it. In this case, that entire thing, not in I will use it. Simply not in. Not in. Simply not in. Or whatever the result is coming, I'll say apply to the entire thing. Apply to the entire thing. There I will write simply called what? Not I will write it. Not. So in this case, what is happening? True is coming. This is the answer is coming. There I am writing. There I am writing entire thing. Here I am going to write it. Suppose if you take sky. If you take sky, what is the sky? A in sky false. E in sky false. I in sky false. All these things are false. Total thing is called false only. When I say false, what I am saying now? Not false. It is called not a vowel word. Not a vowel word I can say. Try to run this example here. Try to run this example. Enter any word. Enter any word. Now I'm going to write it. So there I'm writing here called sky. Sky. Not a vowel word. You try to run again. Here called what you know. Python I will write it. Python is a vowel word I'm writing. Now I'm writing here Java. Java is a vowel word I can write it. This is what our things are related to. Simple if statement related concept. So I hope that you people understood the concept of simple if statement. Now I'm going to enter into the one more kind of example. Right now, write a Python program. Write a Python program which will write a Python program which will accept any digit, which will accept any digit, which will accept any digit and display its name, display its name, display its name, display its name. So what is the meaning of that? See, first of all, we need to understand what is the meaning of that. First, we need to understand here. Point is, you need to remember is digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to introduce slowly importance of if else statement I'm going. Plus if elif statement also I'm going to introduce. I'm having 0 to 7, 8, 9 are the digits. So if it is coming 0, entered 0, I want to print 0. If they enter 1, I want to print it as ONE. If 2 is coming, I want to print it as a 2. I want to print it as a 2. If 3 is coming, I want to print it as 3. If 4 is coming, I want to print it as 5. Like that, I will print if 9 is entered, I would like to print it as 9. By using simple if statement, how we will do it? That is the topic here. So we are going to deal with simple if statement example 4.py. So be ready to write the code for that. Now see here carefully 5.py. So 5, this is a 4. So try to run this new example 5.py. 5.py. There I am trying to write it. So 5.py. Here I am going to take up. So I am writing digit is d is equal to int of input of enter any digit. Enter any digit. Now I'm going to take up. So the digit can be, as I told you, 0 to 9. So what we will do, if it is 0, I need to print a 0. If it is 1, I need to print all these things one by one. I need to print it. How we can print it? If d double equal to 0, d double equal to 0, print of is 0, 0. Suppose if I enter 0, 0 is equal to 0, line number 4 is executed. Immediately it will go to line number 5 also. It will go to line number 5. Suppose if I am entering 1, 1 is equal to 0, it will go to the line number 5. So I'll write it d is equal to 1. D is equal to 1. Print of is 1 I am writing. 1. So here also dot format of D. Dot format of D I am writing. Here I am writing dot format of D I am writing. So next I am going to write it D is equal to 1. Something like that I will copy and paste. Here I will write is equal to 2. Most important logics is equal to 2. I'm writing here 2. So next I am writing 3. Here I am writing 3 is equal to 3 I am writing. So next I'll write 4. 4 I am writing. 4 I am writing. So here it is a 4. Next it is called 5. It is called a 5. It is known as 5 here. 5. So here like this. Next I'm trying to call it as one more thing. 6 I am writing it. 6. So these 6 I am writing. Similarly, I will write it 7. We are writing it as a 7. So there I am writing 7 I am writing it. Here I am writing 8. So here I am writing 8. 8 I am writing. So this I am writing 8. No problem. 8 also I'll write it. No issue. 8 I will write it. Here if you want 9, need not write in the order. You can write 8 also, no problem. 8 I will write it. This is what we are going to say. So this is program execution completed. This only for understanding. Program execution completed. See here, we are entering the digit here, digit D. So D got it. D is equal to 0. So I got it. It's printed. Understand the flow carefully. When I enter 0, try to understand. Line number 3 executing. The line number 4 executed. That is output is coming. Next the PVM will go to which line? Line number 5. Line number 5 is called what? False. Go to which line? 7th line. Also false. Go to 9th line. Also false. Go to 11th line. Also false. Like that, 13th line, 15th line, 17th line. Like that, it will come to 19th line and then 20th line. All of them are called false. and go to line number 23. Line number 23. So these things made you to understand that suppose if the 1 is entered, 2 is entered. So line number 3 is false, 5 is false, 7 is true. It is printed is 2. That is 2 is 2, it is printed. Try to run it. Try to run this code. So I'm entering the value called 0. 0 is coming. You enter 1 here. 1 is 1. You enter 2. 2 is coming. You enter 3. 3 is coming. You enter 4. 4 is coming. So you say 5. 5 is coming. So 6 you enter. And 7 you enter. 7 you enter. 8 you enter. Next is called 9 you enter. 9 you enter 9. Program execution completed. This is what I'm going to discuss at this level. So the point is output is coming. The point to remember here is once you enter 0, I'm telling the limitation of if statement. Limitation of if statement I'm telling. That's why I'm going forward if else. So once we enter 0, it is going to 0 and output is coming here itself. Unnecessarily, PVM is going to line number 5. PVM is going to line number 6, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and then 19, unnecessarily checking. Unnecessarily checking here. It is called waste of time. Is it taking more time or not? Online students, everybody need to understand. Suppose if I enter 3, if I enter 3, 2, it is anyhow, you need to check false. Line number 5, compulsory need to check false. Line number 7, true. True means what? It is executing line number 8. That's it. We got the answer. Unnecessarily checking at line number 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. It is unnecessarily checking. That is the time consuming process. We want to avoid that time consuming process. That's why we are going forward. If else statement we are going for. Everybody must notice this. Why we are going for if else statement. Online students, is it clear? Offline students, is it clear? Yes. So coming to the point back, here I am entering into if else statement. Second statement I am going for if else statement. If else statement I am going for. In if else statement, you see here, I am writing syntax. Syntax I am writing. Carefully try to follow. If test condition, here also, test condition, there I am writing colon. Every colon is followed by indentation block. That we will write it here. Block of statements 1, I will write it. Block of statements 1, I will write it. Else I am writing block of statements 2, I am writing it. Block of statements 2, I am writing. So there I am going to write it. Block of statements 2, I am writing. Here I am writing other statements in the program. Other statements in program. So this is what I am going to take up. Other statements in the program, I just wrote it here. So if you carefully follow it, if statement, else statement, and then I wrote block of statements 2 and return. Here if is a statement, keyword, else is a keyword. Else again I wrote what? Indentation block. If I wrote it indentation block, this is a block of statements 1 comes under if related, block of statements 2 comes under else related. So if you carefully follow, here I am writing it. If test condition is true, I am explaining the flow. If test condition is true, PVM will execute the block of statements 1 and also execute other statements in the program. Also execute other statements in the program that is related to block of statements 1. And at that time, which one will not execute? Block of statements 2 will not execute. If the test condition is false, if the test condition is false, it simply come to where else spot. It will execute block of statements 2 and also execute other statements in the program. Also execute other statements in the program. This is related to else related explanation. So at any point of time, either block of statements 1 executing or block of statements 2 executing, other statements in the program will be executed. If I write a simple flow chart, if I write a simple flow chart, I'm writing here test condition I am writing. Test condition I am writing. Here I am writing true and then I am writing here called false. If it is a true, what is happening? Execute block of statements 1, execute block of statements 1, and the next is called execute block of statements 2. Execute block of statements 2. Okay. And this part I'm going to execute other statements in the program. Execute other statements in the program. This is related to, this is a entry, this is entry, and then say true and false. Block of statements 1 and block of statements 2, any one of them is executing and executing the other statements in the program. This is related to the flowchart of if-else statement. So let me show you the diagrammatic representation and then explanation. So here I am going to enter into that test condition, the conditional statements. If-else statement I will show you with a syntax and diagram, followed by coding we will take. Look at this if-else statement. If-else statement. If test condition, statement 1, statement 2, statement n, indentation block 1, indentation block 1, else statement 1112 1n, that is called indentation block 2, and the next is called other statements in the program. So here what is happening is if test condition, if test condition is true, if test condition is true, what is happening? It will execute the indentation block 1 and also execute the other statements in the program. If the test condition is false, it will come to else, execute indentation block 2 and execute the other statements in the program. This is related to the syntactical explanation which I already said to you. Diagram also already shown to you. So again I am showing here. This is a very important, and execute other statements in the program. Explanation same. Here if and else are keywords. If the test condition is true, PVM executes indentation block of statements 1 and later executes other statements in the program. If the test condition is false, then PVM executes indentation block of statements 2 and later executes other statements in the program. This is related to the concept of if-else statement. If-else statement. Now I need to go to the programming. So whatever the examples we have done with the simple if statement, that I want to show you with examples with what, if else statement I want to go for it. Simply you try to take a palindrome related kind of thing. See once again, simple if statement I am saying. Enter a word. See carefully. For a first sample example I am taking Python. Python value I am taking. Python is equal to Python reverse. Python is equal to Python reverse. False. Definitely it is coming to where else part, and it is if line number 5, it is checking and getting not palindrome, that is compulsory need to come. Suppose if I am entering mom, I am entering mom here. I am entering mom. So mom is equal to reverse of mom, which is a true, which is a true. Once it is a true, what will happen? It will line number 4 will execute. Line number 4 compulsory will execute. Line number 4 compulsory will execute. That is answer is coming. Unnecessarily it is going to where line number 5 for checking. Unnecessarily it is going for. If I write it, 100 if statement if I am writing, generalization I am giving. If I write 100 simple if statements, if I write it, at a condition number, at a test condition number 2 is true, it unnecessarily check 3. Test condition 3 to where test condition 100, it will check. It will take lot of time for unnecessary comparisons. That's why we are going for what? If else statement. I hope everybody got this point. So go to the thing called, to avoid this type of unnecessary comparisons, we go for what? If else statement. Let me write it, the same example. If else statement, I will write it. If else, else statement I am writing. If else statement example 1 dot py. If else statement example 1 dot py. There I am writing value is equal to input of enter any value. Enter any value or enter any value or word. Enter any value or word I am going to take up. Enter any value or word. There I am going to write it. If value double equal to value colon colon minus 1 colon colon minus 1, I say that is palindrome. Is palindrome I am writing. Dot format of what? Value I am writing. So here I will not write again this if statement. I will not write it. Once the answer will come, it should not go to the other part. So I will write it here called what? Else. Else means what? Only one result is there. Once it is a palindrome, next one is what? Not a palindrome. I need not to write it. Simply I will write it. He is not palindrome. He is not palindrome. I wrote it. And I'll write statement X. Program execution completed. Program execution completed. Program execution completed. Let us start understanding about this kind of thing. So what is this now? I'm entering Python. Python. See the execution flow. Python is equal to reverse of Python is false. Coming to line number 5, line number 6 will execute. After that, it will go to the other statements in the program. So try to run this code and see the output of it. Python I will enter, which is going to be a not a palindrome and program execution completed. This is a result of what? Not palindrome case. Well and good. Now the next part is mom I entered. Once if I enter the mom, it is going to be like this. Mom is equal to reverse of mom is true. It will execute line number 4 only. It will not go to 5 and 6. Because else part will not execute. Simply it is coming and executing what? Line number 7. It saves lot of execution time. It saves lot of execution time. I hope you are following me. It saves lot of execution time. Online students, such a simple example I said. Now I want to enter into the one more. If else statement is clear, go to the next. Respond online students. This is more clear. Let us go to the next part of it. Next part of it. Positive, negative, zero UTC once again. I'm entering the value called, I'm entering the value called 12. I'm entering the value called 12. 12 greater than 0, it is true. 12 greater than 0, it is true. And printing the value called what? 12 is positive. Which one will not execute? Which will 12 is positive? It is answer is coming. Unnecessary going for what? Line number 5. Unnecessary going for line number 7. This is what we are facing more execution time. To avoid that, I will write the simple example now. If else statement example 2.py. If else statement example 2.py. 2.py. So there I am writing 2.py. So here I am writing, take this entire example 2.py. There I am writing, enter any value. There I am taking value. Enter any value or word. So there is nothing but what? Positive or negative. I'll take this one. There I will talk about it. So I'm taking, convert into which type? Int type. Int type. There I am writing. There I will write it. Three. Totally I'm having how many conditions with me? 3 results I want to get it. First result is coming. I will print it. Go to the place. Here I will write it. Value greater than 0. You say what? Is what? Is positive. Is positive. Dot format of what? Value. This is number 1. I will write it what here? Else. Else means what? Suppose if I enter value called 10, for example, 10, 10 greater than 0, true, which is printing line number 4. Line number 4, it will execute what statements? Other statements in the program, it will not execute completely else only. So that saves lot of time. Okay, positive is over. Next, how many are left out? Two things are left out. Here, two things are left out. Negative left out, zero left out. For dealing with that, again I will write one more if statement. Already if else is there. I am writing inside the else, one more if else I am writing like a previous. Like that, one more if else I am writing. Why? To deal with the two more conditions. There I am writing if value greater than less than 0, value less than 0, I am writing. There I will write it. Print this value I will write it. Is negative I will write it. Is negative I will write it. I'm writing negative. So I hope that once this is a true, once this is a true, it is getting printed. It is getting printed. Once it is false, once it is true, it is executed. This entire part will not be executed at all. Suppose if I have 100 conditions in if else statement, in if else statement, if first condition is true, 99 condition will not be checked at all in if else statement. If it is 100 if statements, simple if statements are there, if first condition is true, 99 condition unnecessarily checking. This is called a waste of time. This is what we feel is waste of time. We don't want this procedure. So that's why if else is the best one compared to what? Simple if statement. If the value is negative, it will go to the line number 9. There I will write else. There I will write else. So here I am going to write it else. So there I will write it. In this part, I will write it is 0. I will write it as 0. I'll write it as 0. Dot format of value. This part, line number 6 to 9 is called inner if statement we can call. Inner if else statement. Inner if else statement. This if else is called what? Outer. This if else is called outer if else we can call. So like that I can write if else. Again in else I will write if else. This is known as what? If else inner if else ladder. We can call it as if else ladder. Or also called as what? Inner if else statement. Inner if else statement we can call. Inner if else statement we can call. So what is the special advantage of inner if else statement? To improve the performance of our condition comparisons. Try to run this now. So I will say here, stay 6 is a positive. You see, for the simple proof, I will show you. For the simple proof, I will show you. Line number 10 is called what? I'm writing inner if else statement, other statements I'll write it. Other statements in inner if else statement I am writing. This is the one I am writing. Here I am writing one more thing I will write it. One more thing I will write it. So there I am writing other statements. This is a if else, this one I am writing. Other statements in outer if else. Outer if else statement I wrote it. So try to run this example. See that now. I'll say 10. What is happening? This flow is important. Again and again I'm showing to make you to understand the performance. It is true. Print it. It will simply come to where? Line number 11. That's all. It will come to simply line number 11. That means this entire time is saved in execution. If it is simple if statement, it will execute everything. That is the drawback. You say negative value minus 12. This is called a false. Coming to line number 5, line number 6, 12 less than 0, it will print line number 7. After 7 is printed, it will come to where other statements in the inner if else only. And after that, it will go to the other statement in the program also. So that time you'll get both the other statements, you'll get it. Other statements in inner if else you'll get it. Other statements in outer if else also will get it. This is related to the concept of what? If else statement related. You enter negative 0 value completely. 0. This is called false. Coming to line number 5. Line number 6 also false. It will come to line number 8. Line number 9, and it will print 10, and then 11 it will print. So this is going to be the concept which is present. So I hope it is more clear for you. So online students, is it clear for everybody? Respond students. All the students in the online must be responded. Now let us go to the digit related example. Digit related example I am going to take up. Okay, look at that. Digit related example. This is a D is equal to 0, D is equal to 1. I have almost 10 conditions are there. 10 test conditions are available. In best case, when first condition is true, unnecessarily it is checking second, third, unnecessarily 9 test conditions are checking. This is called a waste of time. How do you avoid it? Rewrite the same program by using what? If else statement, so that performance will be obtained. So now I am going to enter into the if else statement 2.py. If else statement example 2.py. There I am going to write it. If else statement example 2.py, I am writing 3.py. 3.py I am going to write it. Let us start 3.py now. So students, 3.py I am going to take it. So there I am going to start the example here. So carefully follow this logics which I said. That same thing I am going to write it. If first you try to get this data, try to get this value, D is equal to, first thing I will write as this. If else statement example 3.py. So here I am writing D. D is equal to 0. Is 0 I said. Now I am writing here called what? Else. In the else part, what I'll write it, if this is satisfied here, it will not go to the else statement. Line number 6, it will not go. So what should I do if it is going to 6? I will write it. D related, I will write it. D is equal to what? 0. 1. No. So there I will write it print of what? D is 1. E is 1 I am writing. Dot format of what? 1 I am writing. D I am writing. This is related to what? D is equal to 1. What should I write next term? Else. Be careful. Now I am continuing my statement. Is equal to 2 I am writing. 2 I am writing here. 2. D. If it is not 2, what I'll write it? Else. This like this, I'll write a very biggest code. 3 I am writing. It is called 3 here. Next I am writing here. Else. There I am writing is equal to 4. Is equal to 4. Is 4 I am writing. Is 4 I am writing. Next I am writing. Else I am writing. Else. Is equal to 5 I am saying. Is 5 here. 5 here. Next I am writing else. There I am writing 6. There I am writing 6 here I am writing. There I am writing next to 6 else like this is equal to 7 I am writing. Is 7 I am writing now. 7 I am writing. So else part I am writing it. There I will write it. 8 I am writing 8. So this is what I am writing 8. So next I am writing else 9 I am writing. So carefully try to follow students. Else I will write it. Now I am writing like this. That's all. If this is the data written, actually I need not write this here. I need not write this else part. So I think these are all things called what? If else statement I wrote it. I think you are following this. If else statement is written. This is called what? Not necessary to fill button. It is a very easy to write the coding like this. Try to run this. Now I'm entering the value called 0, and it is 0 is coming. Straight forward, once it is line number 4, it is straight forward coming to the line number, which place it is coming? 31, it is coming, 31. Program execution completed. Program execution completed. Straight forward, it is coming to this place only. Program execution completed. So I hope. Okay. So try to 1 minute. So this statement I will just take up. Execution completed. It is coming to line number 32. Straightforward, it is coming to line number 32. Completed, I just wrote it here. Completed. Try to run this. You say 0. Straightforward, it is coming to completed. So in this case, we are lot of time is saving. Line number 6 to where? Line number, all these things are saved in best case. So the best case is going to be increasing the performance here. If I say 2, again 2, 7 conditions are minimizing. If I say in worst case 9 is entered, so 9 is compulsory supposed to check all the things. So the best case we need to consider always compared to if else statement, which is the best one, compared to if statement, which is the best one, if else statement is the best one. Suppose if I take it here, if else is the best. That's good. Now you look at carefully this example you see. What is how many lines of code is written? 32 lines of code is written, correct? And you come to statement number 5. How many lines I wrote it here? 23 I wrote it. So lengthwise, who is having more length? If else. Lengthwise, who is the shortest? So simple if is short in length and more in execution time. And if else statement is what? More in length, less time in execution. So advantage of a simple if statement is short writing, output is coming, but the drawback is more time is taking to execute. If else statement advantage is what? Less time, more lines is taking. So that means if I had a small conclusion, if I have a small conclusion, simple if statement, simple if statement, if I take it, simple if statement, if I take it, it takes what? More more execution time plus short, short in code, short in code. If else statement is what? If else statement is taking what? Less execution time, less execution time, less execution time, plus more lines of code, more lines of code. This is the another one. If else statement, less execution time, more lines of code is written here. So there I'm going to write it. Here, this is an appreciable facility. Here it is a drawback. Here it is a drawback, and here it is going to be an advantage. What I am looking for, some concept I am looking for. What is that concept I am looking for? Less execution time I need, plus what? Short in code I want. Short in code I want. That is called what, if if else statement I am going to tell you. If else statement I am going to tell you. This is what I am going to look into the picture. Less execution time and short in time. Short. So short in code. That is, I want the behavior like a if else statement. I want the short in code like a simple if statement. That is called if else statement. How it is going to be, I'm just going to show you. Why this is longer in coding, I'm explaining. Suppose you take students, 2 you take it 2. When you take this statement, it is coming to where line number 3. It will come to where Line number 5. Why big code, lengthy encoding? After else it is supposed to go to where? So here only two steps are executing. Else plus if. Again it is called what? False. False means it is coming to 8 plus what? 9. 9. Of course it is true. Suppose if it is also false, it will come to where? Else one line, if one more line. Else one line and if one more line. This is taking unnecessarily what? More length of the code. That's why today I'm telling one more concept. Else plus if combined together, we are going to do it. Else plus if will be combined together. That is abbreviated as elif. Else plus if are combined together. That is abbreviated as simply elif. I hope that you are following. Elif statement, that is simply abbreviated here. That is going to be less in short code. It is written. I will write it. Let us go to the statement here. I will go for the syntax. What is the syntax here? If, elif, else statement, I am going to take it. If, elif, else statement, I am going to talk about it. If test condition, block of statements 1. Here what I will write it. Instead of writing else, if, else like this, we will combine both of them into one place only. That is called elif. What I will write it there? Elif stands for what? Else if. There I am writing this is a test condition 1. Here I am writing test condition 2. Test condition 2 I am going to write it. Test condition 2 I am going to write it. So there I am writing here. There I am writing test condition 3 I am going to write it. Test condition 3. Block of statements 3. Test condition 4. Here I am writing test condition 4 and block of statements 4. Like that I am writing. Like that I am writing n number of conditions. Test condition n. Block of statements n. Now I am writing else part also. Else part is called what? Else block of statements. Else block of statements. So let us carefully try to follow me. Else block of statements. Carefully look at that. If statement, here state test condition 1. Suppose if it is true, it will execute this block of statements 1. Simply it will go to where? Other statements in the program. Other statements in the program. That is the one. Which one will not be executed? Other things in the program will not execute. Suppose if test condition 1 is called what? False. False. If it is false, it is going to where? Elif. Elif I am going to take it. Test condition is called what? True. It will execute a block of statements 2 and executes what? Other statements in the program. If test condition 1 is false, test condition 2 also false, it will comes to test condition 3. It will execute the corresponding block of statement and executes the other statements in the program. If no test condition is true, simply false, 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 everywhere false. It will go to where? Else block of statements will execute. And execute what? Other statements in the program. So I hope that this part is more clear. I think you are understanding. Simple if else, and next is called what? If if statement is clear. So my choice of conditional statement to use always is what? If else statement, I will use it. Simple if you like it, use it. If else you like it, use it. By my choice of using it always, if else. So if else is not there in C language, C++, Java. It is there only in where? Python language. Let us move to the examples on that area. So I hope students, it is more clear for you. Let me open this part here. This part you open it. If palindrome, by using what I wrote? Simple if statement. I wrote the same thing by using what? If else statement also I wrote it. Here I wrote it what? I wrote like this. This is okay, leave it. Number if else statement 3.py, 2.py, is a positive or negative or zero. First, what is happening? It will come to this place. It will come to line number 3. 3 is false. Compulsory coming to 4. 4 is true. Execute. Unnecessarily coming to 7 and executing the other part. But this example, I'll write with what? If elif statement. Here I am writing if elif elif else statement. Elif else statement. Else statement. Example 1.py. Example 1.py. Where I am writing it. Here I am going to write it. So there I am going to write it. Value is equal to n is equal to int of input of enter any value. Enter any value. So there I am going to write it. If n greater than 0, n greater than 0, I'm talking about is what is this? Is what? Positive. Is positive. Dot format of I'm writing n here. N. Next I will write it earlier what I wrote it. Again I wrote like that. In earlier what I wrote it here. In this case what I wrote it. Here I wrote it. Value greater than 0 positive, else L like this. We already almost written here. 9 lines we have code we written. So that is 7 lines of code. 9 minus 2 is called 7 lines of code. Here I wrote else and then if I wrote it. But in this case, what I'll write it, L if n less than 0, I'll simply write it what? Print of is negative I am writing. Negative, not the format of what? N I will write it. Simply only one is available. If you want, I will write simply I will say what? Is 0. Is 0 I will write it. Not the format of N I wrote it. So if I see that here, if I see that it is only 6 to 8. 6 to 8, that is 2 to 8 means what? Only 6 lines of code is written for such a small problem here. For such a small problem. Here 2 to 9 is written. For small problem is concerned 9. If I come to this place, it is going to be called what? 2 to 8 lines means 6 lines. But if I go to this place, digits related program 32, here there is a considerable difference of lines, you will get it. Considerable difference of lines of code, you will get it. Let me go to this execution part. Try to run it. If you want to write program execution completed. Program execution completed. Program execution completed. Try to run this code, students. So first I will enter the value called 10. 10 is coming here. It is true. Execute line number 4. Line number 4, it will come to simply called what? Line number 9. Line number 9. So it will come to line number 9. Next you try to run once again here. I am saying the value called minus 45. This is called minus 45 false. Minus 45 less than 0. It is true, negative value, and it is going to print what? Like this. So it is going to be minus 45 is negative, program execution completed. You enter the most worst case value called 0. Here it is called 0 only. So that is done. Now the next point is about one more thing. If else statement 3, the digit program I will rewrite by using if elif statement. This is the best kind of choice for the people to take about conditional checking process. So let us write it here 3.py. So I'll write it 3 not 2 now. 2, okay, no problem. So here I am going to write it. So something like 3.py, or later I will change it. That is not an issue. There I will write the logic. What is the logic I will take it? This is the logic I will take care. So this part you take care. Here I am writing like this. Next what I will do, once this is done, L if I will write it. T is equal to 1 I will write it. T is equal to 1 I will write it. I will print it as what now? 1 I will write it. 1. I will write it as 1. 1. In the same style, I will take up as it is and I am writing. What it is called a 2. is a 2. I'm writing 2. Next I'm writing elif I'm writing 3. 3 I'm writing. This is called 3 I'm saying. 3 I'm saying. There I'm going to write it 4. I'm writing 4. There I'm writing 4. See that elif way of writing that. It is called 5. You can write 5. You can write 5. And the next I'll write elif. I'll write 6. I'll write 6 here. And I'll write 6 here. Next I'll write it 7. I'll write it as 7. And I say 7 here. So there I'm writing 8. There I'm writing 8. This I'm taking here called what, 8. There I'm writing. Next I can write simply else, but I'll write one more time. I'll write it. 9 I'm writing 9. This is called a 9. So you need not to write what? Else part is optional to write it. If at all you want to write, you can write else also, not an issue. Let us run this code and I will write program execution completed. Program execution completed. Here I wrote it. Program execution completed. Try to follow me carefully. Here, what is the happening? How many lines of code? 2, 2. Line number 2 to 23. 23 means what? Almost written 21 lines only. 21 lines only written, correct? When you go to the simple if statement, that is if else statement 3, line number 2 to how many lines? 32 lines. Almost 31 lines is written. Here I written how many? 21 lines. See how much considerable 10 lines of code is differentiating here. And performance is similar like what? If else statement only. Try to write it now. 0. Once it is 0 printed, once it is 0 printed, simply go to where? Outside of it, it will go to other statement in the program will execute. 0 is 0. Program execution is completed. Try to write it as 1 and 1 is 1. Program execution completed. You got it. I say 2 and 2 is 2. Program execution completed. I say 3. 3 is 3. Program execution completed. I'll say 9 here and a 9 is 9. Program execution completed. Here I am writing. You need not to write this case. I'll simply write it as what? Else also I can write it. So writing else is called optional. I say 9 straightforward. 9 is 9, you will get it. And you'll say something like, 45 and 45, you got it. 45 is coming what? 9 is coming. Are you following that? It is a drawback. It is a drawback in the sense I am writing the beautiful code now. So how to write that code? Let us write this. I enter 45. 45 means not satisfying this kind of things or not. What I do there, I say else. I simply write it here as what is a number. Is a number. Digit means only one thing, right or not? Else. That time I will write a else part here. Meaningful word I wrote it. Let us run this now. I say 123. 123 is not a digit. 123 is a number. This is a perfect place. 123 is a perfect place. 123 is a return. I'll write it as what? 678 and I'll get it as a number. So I hope you are following me. So this is the concept of digits written if elif statement is written. Let me show you if elif statement here, students. Let us take this now. Concept you see, diagram you see. Carefully try to follow. Now you see, if elif else statement, syntax, if test condition 1, block of statements. Elif test condition 2, block of statement. Elif test condition 3, block of statements. Elif test condition n, block of statements. Else block of statements. Other program. And see the same explanation. If the test condition is true, execute the block of statements 1 and execute other statements in the program. If test condition 1 is false, go to elif test condition 2. Execute the corresponding block of statements and execute other statements in the program. Generally, if test condition 1 is true, then PVM executes block of statements 1 and other statements in the program. If the test condition 1 is false and if the test condition 2 is true, Then PVM executes block of statements 2 and other statements in the program. This process will be repeated until all test conditions evaluated and all the test conditions are false. Then PVM executes else block of statements and executes other statements in the program. Writing else block of statement is optional. I may write it, I may not write it. One flowchart also I will show you students. See the flowchart now. Here I am writing entry condition 1 is true, executes block of statements 1 and executes other statements in the program. Condition 1 is called what? False. Go to where? Condition 2. If it is true, execute block of statements and go to other statements. If condition 2 is also called what? False. Condition n. It is true. Executes block of statements n and executes other statements in the program. If all conditions are false, execute else block of statements. That is related to what? If else statement related program. So next, we are supposed to enter into one more kind of thing. One student is asking, Srajan Bashin is asking, you're supposed to follow, my dear student. You're supposed to understand the logic. Suppose he is asking the value. If we enter -1, if we enter -1, actually that is a one of the doubt. He is a totally innocent student. Actually, you need to immediately catch that intelligence in my class. If I enter -1, he is getting it as what? Number is getting the answer. Number is getting the answer. But I should print it as what? Negative digit if you want to print. It's a negative digit. What should I do? If you are interested, I'll copy paste this entire thing. I'll copy paste this entire thing. I'll copy paste. These are all called your intelligence. You have to take care. If you don't know about all those things, it's a problem. So here I will write it. Srajan Veshina something, some student. He is called what? -1. -2 is how easiest part this is, it is not, it is not that much difficult to understand. That is a very, very easy. -5, -5, -6, -6. Here I am writing -7, -7, -8, -8, -9, -9, like this. I think, I think no issue, no issue. Now it is going to be simple. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 it is now. So it is after all, it is going to be a simple. Our brain has to work. That's all. What is that? -1 is -1. Our brain has to work. Sir will tell how to eat the food. Sir will not tell how to eat. Sir will not tell how to eat chapati, puri, dosa. Eating is same process. Eating biryani. One thing, if I tell you have to go for catching other things. So I will say -9. So -9 is -9. I say 2, and 2 is called 2. And if I say what? 3, 3 is 3. If I say 123, if I say 123, you will be getting what? 123 is a number. This is called subject. This is called subject. This is what is called subject. We have to make our brain to work. That's all. This is the data we got it. And a number I printed here. You want to print a negative number and positive number also. If you want to print a negative number and positive number also. Again, I will write it what here? If L if I will write it. L if I will write it. What is the L if I will write it? D greater than 9. D greater than 9. It is called what number? Positive number. Positive number. I say here called what I say one, what is that I'm writing? 2, 3, 4 I wrote it. 2, 3 is a positive number. And I will enter something like, -3, 5 you enter -5. If you say something like, 6 you enter, 6 is coming. If you say next, if I write it negative number if I enter, no output will come. -345, no output is coming. What I do is, if you are a good student, I'll write it as what? Else I will write it. Else, what I will write it here is a negative number. is a negative number, is a negative number. So coming to this point, so is a negative number. There I am writing minus 345. Minus 345 is a negative number, and 345 is the positive number. And the next time writing 3 is 3. I'll say next is called what, minus 5. Minus 5, it is going to be like this. So Venkatesh Gaud is asking that these kind of things are waste doubts. If you ask like that, if you ask like that, it is called waste of my time if I talk about it. Because you need to read my notes thoroughly. Because putting something which is not in the intelligent part only innocently without knowing anything, if you keep it meaningless. What is the meaningless? You see where I taught all those things. Coming to the point of it, that's what I'm saying. Don't put everything whatever you feel it. It should have some genuinity. Then only I will entertain such things. You take it conversion of what? Int of. Conversion of int of. What is the conversion of int of? When he is saying that 22 by 36, which is called a string type, when I'm converting into which type? Int type. You are getting it as what? Slash symbol is coming. The slash symbol is treated as a symbol connected with it. It will give you what? Value error. Value error it is. Where I taught that complex symbol J, anything other than the digits which is coming, which is not possible. So you try to enter this area. So that type of doubts, if I start entering now, it will be always problem for me because such a type of low level doubts I don't want to entertain. What is that? Value error. Such a type of low level doubts, if I start taking now, it's my time waste. So if at all you want to do that also, I will explain in the subject of what? Explanation like this. Here I am writing, here I am writing, here I need to take up, except I will write it. Value error, print of Venkatesh Gowda, enter the value properly. Venkatesh Gowda, enter value properly. Enter value, enter integer value, enter integer value. You need to enter. So like this, you say 22 by 36, what is coming? Venkatesh Gaud, enter the value properly. Such a type of doubts is totally innocent doubts. You have to read this doubt. So this type of conversions you must have perfectly. Then only you can understand. I'll write any kind of code in the class, but it should have some genuinity. So this except and all you don't know now. That's why I'm not going to write it. So here almost we are saying that coming to this area, coming to this area, I'll take up this, go to this place. Here I'll remove that. By now this is my data. This is my program. Venkatesh Gaud, are you okay? So this is the answer we got it. These lines of code we entered, like this we written. This I want to write it. How many lines I wrote it actually? By combining everything, we got it almost how many? 45 lines of code is written. I want to just write it in 3 lines or 4 lines of code. 3 to 4 lines of code I will write it. How to write it, sir? Now I'm going to write it. Entering into that. How to write it? Now I'm entering into this. What this code is? Here I'm going to enter into this place. Venkatesh God, are you there? When I'm calling, you must respond it. Otherwise, further you will not get any response from me. Already you come to that place. Now coming to the point of it, dist example 1.py. Because when you put an innocent doubt, when I highlight that innocent doubt and if I write the code for it and I shown, should be great responsible towards my class to enhance your skill, right? So digit example 1.py. When I'm highlighting the student mistake, student will try to escape from the field of doubt. That is the innocent knowledge. Okay, you have to face the type of doubts in the class. I'm writing that kind of thing in the 2 to 3 lines, 3 to 4 lines of code I'm writing. Let us follow that. I'm writing here. D is equal to, as usually you take this D. As usually you take this D. Yes, I took it D. There I am going to write it. Digit. I am writing digit. Before that, I will like to take it. Tell me what it is now. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. The type of thought should come automatically. Dicto Bj is equal to, Dicto Bj is equal to 0 colon 0 colon 0. Next 1 colon 1, 2 colon 2, 2 colon 2. Next I will write it 2 colon 2, comma 3 colon 3. This is where you will use your data types. 4 colon 4, 4 colon 4, comma 5 colon 5, 6 colon 6, 6, 6 colon 6. I'm going to take it. Next 6 colon 6, this number 6. And the next I'm writing 7 colon 7, 7 colon 7. And the next 8 colon 8, 8 colon 8 written. Next is called 9 colon 9. I will write it. 9 colon 9 I wrote it. This is my dictionary. This is my dictionary. Okay. So there I got it a D. D I got it. So the D can be like this. What I am writing is, as you know already, D dot get off, get off. Dicto Bj, Dicto Bj is going to give you RES. Just I am showing. I am entering the digit, but a digit I am Dicto Bj reverse I am using. Dicto Bj dot, Dicto Bj dot get off D. I am passing D, D. I am passing D here. I am passing the D to the dictor. If the D is present inside the dicto Bj, you will get RES. Otherwise, you will get what? Otherwise, you will get what? Waste bubble. So, D comma what? RES. Of course, I don't want to print that. I will write simply, I'll write simply RES, I will print it. So, as if completely wrong, you will get a none as a result. Meeku gurtundadu. You don't read it and you will come to my class. And coming to data types, dictate data type, predefined functions, I was clearly explained. Get function gives the value when the value present. Otherwise, it will get a none as a result. None as a result. Passing the value of value, get the value of value. Otherwise, you will get what? None as a result. There is another syntax also explained. This is the result we got it. Like this. Go to the place and try to run. There I am entering the digit called 5. So I got the answer 5. You try to run the error value called 123. 123 is not there, it is called none. That part is more than enough to write it. Here I am writing. Here I am writing. Simply I will write it in a normal style. In a normal style. What is that? RES not equal to what? None. Not equal to none. I say here is RES. Is RES. Dot format of what? N comma RES. Else I am writing print of it is number. It's a number. It's a number. Just like I will change it later. Try to run it. This is D. Try to run it. Here I am getting the value called 4. 4 is 4. I'll say next is called 5. 5 is 5. I'll say the value called what 123. 123 is a number. Okay. Now I don't want to write this many lines of code. Suppose if you want negative digits also, happily you can take this entire thing. Happily you can take an entire thing. You can write it here. Simply go to the place, comma, you write it. And say this entire thing. Where is that? Minus 1 I will write it. Minus 1 you write it. Minus 2 you write it. Minus 3 you write it. Minus 4 you write it. Minus 5 you write it. Minus 6 you write it. Minus 6 you write it. Minus 7 you write it. Minus 7 you write it. Minus 8 you write it. Minus 8 you write it. I'll write it minus 9. minus 9 is written. So here I am writing digit. Now I need to finish my task. RES is equal to, I'll use a ternary operator. I'll use ternary operator. Confusing is only your psychological problem. I'm not getting confused. If you read well, no confusion at all. So that's why 24 hours reading only. I'm going to give you one condition here. What is the condition? If dict2bj dot get of d, if that is a present, left side I will give the result. What is the result? Dict2bj dot dict2obj dot get of d. I will give the result. Else I will write it. Else I will write it. If at all you want negative number, positive number also, that also I will write it. If d is what? Greater than 0, less than 0, greater than less than 0. That is, of course, we got the data. If d is what? Greater than 0, 9, 9, I will write it. Here I will write it. It is positive number. Positive number. D, I will write it. If D greater than 9, else I will write it. It is, it is, it is negative number. Negative number. It is a negative number. That's all. I will write it. Print of is like this. Dot format of D comma RES. Perfect. Try to run this. Got it. So some 6. 6 is 6. I'll say minus 7. Minus 7. You say you say 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a positive number. You say minus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative number. That's all. Enter anything. Output is coming. Whatever you like it, you enter like this. So you may enter something else. Some special symbol you may enter, but I will write it. Something like this. I'll write this kind of thing. These are all called what? My expertism in the coding. I'll write it what? Value error. I'll write it. What is this? Don't enter, don't enter, don't enter anything, anything other than numbers, other than digits and numbers, other than digits, digits and numbers, other than digits and numbers. So try to run it. If I enter KVR here, it is don't enter anything other than that. If I enter any special symbols like this, don't enter anything other than that. You say 1, 2, 3 is a number. You say minus 240 number. You say the value called as something like 4, 4. You say the value called minus 5, minus 5. That's all. And this except and all those things you don't know, I'll take care in the further cases. Nothing to worry about this time. So this is my data. This is my data coming to this area. Done. So I hope that this is got it. And 4 lines are coming in single line, 3 lines if you want. I'll show you one more example for you. This you keep it 4 lines because if you don't get other thing, problem. We don't want to put more logic related statements in one place. I'll carry this now. I'll go for this 2.p1. And if you are so good student, I'll copy this entire thing. I'll put it into RES. I'll remove this line. That's all. 3 lines. 2.py. 2.py. Carry on and get the data. 4. Got it. You say minus 6. Got it. You say 456 number. You say the value called minus 123. Got it. That's all. This is about my coding. So where is my lines of code? Where is my lines of code? See that almost 44 lines. Where is my subject? Is only 3 lines. That is the intelligence required. Roaming on the roads, not reading, just roaming, only sleeping, coming to the classes will not give any subject. So if else statement example 3, 32 lines written only for positive. Negative if I add 32 plus 32 is called 64 lines it will go. నిద్రపోతున్నాను. స్లీపింగ్. వాట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ హియర్ అండ్ వాట్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్? కూర్చో. నీ ఇష్టం అది. యూ టేక్ కేర్ అబౌట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. యువర్ ఫ్యూచర్, యువర్ లైఫ్, యువర్ టాలెంట్. దట్స్ ఆల్. All of them are there in the world only. Some of them are roaming here and there. Some of them are doing the real-time coding. There is only the difference. So, coming to the point back, I'll stop my class and I'll upload these notes to you and take care and don't miss the tomorrow class. Tomorrow class I'll go for match case statement I will enter. Match case statement I will enter. Take care. All the best. Online students, if any doubts are there, then wait there. We'll clarify your doubts. Thank you. Online students. Any more doubts you have, you can raise your hands. I'll clarify your doubts. Okay, students, take care and no more hand raising symbols here and don't miss tomorrow class. Thank you. All the best.